Peter, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Mike.
All right, let's start with the Red Sox and a couple of their guys and the future for them. Obviously, we start with Ellsbury. What's your thoughts on him?
I think he ends up going somewhere else. I think he gets 6 years at about $130, $40 million.
You have a thought where you got a favorite for him?
I think Seattle. I think that they're going to spend a lot of money. I think they're going to go out to Napoli. I'm told they're going to go out to Napoli as well, although, as we know, that ballpark is terrible for right-hand hitters. Adrian Beltre couldn't hit home runs there. Mike Napoli's not going to.
Napoli, I would think, would want to stay with you guys. You know that? I thought he'd rather stay up in Boston.
I think he would. I mean, they're not going to give him 3 years and $40 to $45 million with the plantar fasciitis and the hip. But he's still a very dangerous guy. He's a very good defensive first baseman. I think that's what surprised me the most.
Yeah, underrated. He actually was Gold Glove caliber this year. He really played well at first base.
Absolutely. Well, it's testament to a guy like Brian Butterfield being able to really coach. I mean, the work and that's something that team really did. They worked at everything. They're a great base running team, very good defensive team, and it's, every day was like instructional. You can do that. It's okay. Don't have to just roll the balls out and say, okay, today's a new day. And they kind of showed that. But Napoli was very good. But I think Napoli will come back. I'm not so sure. Drew loved it there and really played well, and they could have one more year of Bogart. But they can't give Drew 3 years and then keep Bogarts off the shortstop.
No, they got to put. Listen. I understand they like Drew and they should, but Bogarts he's a force that has to be reckoned with. So Drew goes. Where do you think he'll wind up?
I think that's a tough call. I don't think he's going to New York. I think that he'll probably. I think St. Louis is a real possibility. Even though there was some hard feelings about J.D., Steven is a totally different guy, and I think that's a possibility. I think that the problem's going to be he liked it so much. Do you take 1 year at $14 million, hope that you don't have the concussions, and you have a full season, and you've got really good Fenway Park numbers, then go out in the market next year at 31? I think that's something he'll think very hard about.
All right, we're talking with Peter Gammons. Tanaka is going to be at the top of the pitching market. Most people have penciled him into the Yankees. Do you pencil him into the Yankees?
No, I pencil him into the Dodgers.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I mean, I think they're going to have a great. I think it's going to be $75 to $100 million posting, and then sign him. I just that the Dodgers can spend so much money that it doesn't matter, and they really want him very badly. So that's going to be a very interesting battle. It's sort of interesting here how when the Yankees want to get back in the big market, the rivalry is across the country.
It is funny. Yeah, their challenge is going to be. And if the Yankees are preoccupied with Cano, the Dodgers can go after Tanaka.
Yes, and I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to go very hard after David Price. They're going to go hard after Tanaka, and if they could ever end up with Kershaw, Greinke, Price, Tanaka, and Rue,
wow.
That would be. I mean, it wouldn't really matter how interested Carl Crawford is in chasing fly balls.
I agree. I mean, that is an incredible staff. I mean, and the amount of money is staggering considering what they're going to have to pay Kershaw, too,
Plus, they're going to have to pay Hanley Ramirez, who's a free agent at the end of next year, and he's going to get huge money as well because they're just, right-handed power bats are getting so rare. When you've got one for a guy that can play shortstop or third base, I mean, Hanley's going to get a huge, huge deal, and they know it, and just as they know they're going to have to pay Kershaw.
All right, a couple of guys here. How about Garza? What do you see for him?
I think he's way out there, way out in the open. I think Texas may try to re-sign him, but he's out there for the taking. There is a little question about his elbow right now, so it's. I think that's something that has to be determined. Is he completely healthy? And then there'll be pretty good bidding because let's face it, there isn't a lot of free agent pitching. So if you can get 3 to 5 teams interested in a guy like Garza, he's going to get, he's going to go well over $15 million a year.
How do you think the Tigers play this, Peter? Do they add for their new manager, or do they start to pare down? Do they trade a Scherzer, or do they go add a Beltran? I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways too. I think it's going to be very hard to talk them into trading Scherzer. I mean, I realize that delivery scares you. Sitting behind home plate during the playoffs, there are times when my shoulder was hurting. Why? But his stuff is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got very good stuff.
So hard to pick up because of all that herky-jerky delivery. And when you get somebody that elite, I mean, Prince did not have a very good year.
Victor he was bad.
Right there. And Cabrera got hurt, after August 26th, he only had 3 extra base hits. So, I mean, they got as far as they did because of pitching. And I have to tell you, I thought that the tension in the Tiger-Red Sox series was nearly as great as any I could ever remember.
And I know Jimmy Leland felt that he felt they blew that series. He felt that they, especially the Ortiz game, they felt they blew that series. They thought they pitched well enough in the starting pitching to win that series.
I agree. Now, the Red Sox are really good at running up those pitch counts. But at the same time, their starting pitching was good enough to go all the way.
Rarely have you ever seen a series where starting pitching pitched better and lost? Not many times.
Probably not. And, the Red Sox bullpen was really good. And John Farrell did a great job manipulating it and getting the right matchups. Breslow obviously had, 2 fuzzy outings in the World Series, but he was really, really good, as was Tozawa.
Yep.
And so, their bullpen, and they didn't have to throw a lot of innings because their starters at least stayed in games into the 7th inning so that they were able to win 2- and 3-inning games, which is really important. That's the way they played. That's the way they won. And the difference in the Red Sox defense, bullpen, and base running was the difference in that series. Because, I think I'd agree with you. Tigers, Cabrera hurt or not,
yes,
could have won that thing. Their starting pitching is so good.
Oh, it was really tremendous. It was, and again, if they just don't make a couple of pitches, the Red Sox got 3 or 4 big swings that, really held them in big stead in both series. They were just, whether it was Napoli, whether it was Big Papi, whether it was Victorino, they just got big swings all the way through. Gomes, a lot of times guys not hitting, just getting that one big swing and hitting that big 2 or 3 run homer and made all the difference.